Hey, everyone.
Hey!
Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast. Now with 100% more Joel and Burnie.
Yes.
So this week, Gus, Gavin, Joel, Burnie, Gus.
Boo.
Good to see you, Gus.
Who's
Double.
who?
You're Joel. That's all you got to worry about. Worry about Joel. Stay on top of that.
Did you ever hear about the dude in Antarctica who was the medical guy on staff in Antarctica and he got appendicitis?
Oh, and had to do it on
He
himself?
performed his own
with a mirror.
appendectomy.
God.
He was Russian, I believe.
Well, yeah, he's in a big hurry.
Yeah, he's
Hey, Barbara.
Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. Wah.
She's off screen right now. I stole one of her
Jesus.
jokes.
I
Yeah, no,
didn't.
he didn't want to give himself any anesthesia because he didn't want to dull his senses. So this dude gave himself an appendectomy.
There's
while
pictures
somebody
of
else
it.
held a mirror and he's like this.
There's a black and white picture of it, like mid-operation.
Oh my god.
So there were other people with him. He just didn't want them. He didn't want to walk them through it.
No.
Okay, would you let me? If you
Okay.
knew,
No.
if you knew
No.
how, would you let me cut your appendix out?
God, that is a good question.
Let's take it back a step. If
that's like
would
the
you
new
let him drive your truck?
Yeah, sure. I don't care. He's already driven my truck.
Okay.
He drove it
That's
for
more
one of our
responsibility
mines
than
that
I
we
thought.
I drove it 6 feet.
But I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Like I give people my keys in my truck and they come back and they said they're all upset because they dented it. I don't care.
I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Did you see? I guess you're talking about planes. Maybe think about this. Did you see the video of that plane crashing in Russia?
What?
Brutal.
Is it recent?
Yeah, it happened like 2 or 3 days ago.
It's brutal.
What happened? Did
The
people
plane
die?
did this
Oh, that's not how you
Yeah,
land a
I
plane.
mean,
into the runway.
yeah. It's one of those deals where it's
What?
like you see one frame where there's an airplane pointed
Oh,
down,
understood.
and the next frame is that.
Yeah, it's like they tried to land.
What was that? A light?
No, that's the fucking fire.
That's a
That
light.
used to be a 737.
Technically, it is a light.
they tried to land and did a go around. Then on their second go around, they just went nose first. They said they don't know what happened yet because most of the fuselage is underground.
Good.
Somebody, some Russian lady tweeted. I guess the son of one of the presidents of one of the Eastern Bloc countries was on that plane and died, and she was like tweeting, "Ha ha ha! I'm so happy that happened."
What?
Or whatever. Yeah, and it was just sort of like, wow, can get away with a lot more over in Russia than you can here.
Jesus.
Yeah, brutal.
You can totally tweet that here if you wanted to.
Well, I'm not.
As like a
tweeting it.
politician's
you
you,
get
wife
a
or
views.
something. Yeah.
you can tweet it all you want.
Our condolences. That's pretty
I'm
freaking
not.
scary.
Yeah. I don't
What
think
does
it
the
would-
I'm not even
appendix
upset.
do?
Like grass or something, doesn't it? If you eat grass,
No. No.
doesn't it get big if you eat grass? Like from when we
No.
were cows or something.
You eat
No.
grass.
From when
They
we
go
were
back and they
cows?
talk
Did
to
you say
people.
from when we were
I know.
cows?
I know that. Like,
But we had humans had an all grass diet.
It's left over when we had 4 stomachs.
isn't it to do with like eating herbs and stuff? Or, like leaves.
Yeah, it's part of the digestive tract. I think it's optional. Like you can cut it off.
Not
It
not
doesn't
used
really do
anymore,
anything.
right?
Yeah.
The theory was that maybe that it used to digest maybe pieces of bone or something like that back when we were.
Yeah, I
Not
would
animals.
definitely. If there was a service, I've talked about this before. If there was a service that just got rid of all the crap that
All-
could go wrong, like
all the
wisdom
crap.
teeth, appendix, tonsils,
you would do that?
adenoids, like all the
But
crap.
then you wouldn't have a personality.
No, I'd still have my brain.
Do you think within your lifetime we'll achieve a point where, through genetic engineering, you can genetically engineer fetuses to the point where there will be born without wisdom teeth, without
Yes.
appendix, without any
yeah.
of this?
Because there are already mutations where some people don't get wisdom teeth.
And you think we'll
So
figure that
those
out and
people
be
need
able
to-
to artificially create that within the next 50 years?
Yeah, you just get a bunch of those people to keep banging all the time. It's like 7
Well, then,
generations, then you extract that.
when they unlocked the genome, right? We can just find the switch, right?
Okay.
Turn it on or off.
What about this as a situation? You lose both testicles,
Okay.
and then that stops you from having all the testosterone and stuff, and you're just castrated at that point.
Okay.
But you can have one of my nuts, and that will restore, like, you'll get all the hormones that you usually get, but the sperm will be mine. Would you do it?
That's a very that's a
It's a
weird
very convoluted
I was with them right up until the sperm part.
Basically,
question.
if
If
he
you-
has the function of a testicle.
No, no,
in
no. I
terms
mean,
of
if
what
you
it
have an
Well,
organ,
honestly, I don't care. I'm not going to have kids, so what does it matter to me?
You
here's
might,
The
by
main
accident.
thing I've learned is that Gavin
They'll
doesn't
come out nose
understand how
first.
sperm is produced. He does not understand how sperm is produced.
Wait,
you
what?
You're
It's part of
born with a full, like your full tank of sperm, and you just like deplete it over life.
No, because we're not like a woman.
Right. Good job, Gavin. Our testicles are not like a woman's testicles.
Wait, where does the sperm come from then?
It's produced. They produce it.
In the ball.
In the ball, yeah. So it would after the first like couple
What?
goes, it wouldn't be any of your stuff left.
Wait, why?
It's like if you sold me a car.
No, why?
After
Why?
the
Well,
first week.
You know, we could get back
I
to
got
an,
none of your gas
it
left.
wouldn't be your
could get back
gas
to
anymore.
we could get back to an interesting question, right?
It wouldn't be my
One
gas.
person, you need a ball, you have to pick somebody, but then you immediately have to have sex, and it's the other person's leftovers. Who do you pick? And what does the kid look
No
like?
one? I'd rather go ballless than raise one of you assholes kids.
So wait. Okay, so
No, you have to pick a ball, Gus. You
help me
have to pick a ball.
Help me understand the sperm thing.
Go ahead.
The sperm, the actual physical little swimmers, are created in my ball,
Right.
but they're filled with my info.
Yeah. Right.
So if it was in Gus's body, they would fill the sperm with his info.
Right. They would have
But
Gus's
where does
CV.
it come from, though?
What does what come from?
The genetic material in the sperm.
He's confused. If it doesn't come from the ball, where does it come from?
It produces. I studied this in college.
I'm
My
pretty
memory's
sure
a
if
little
my-
rough, but it's produced and it basically takes normal genetic code and the pairs and it splits them, and so that you end up with like a gamete has like half your genetic code. Basically, it's not your full genetic code because it pairs with somebody else's half genetic code.
That would be the girl.
That's a different conversation. You're talking about a baby now.
No. What do you mean? What are we talking about? What do you
A
think
sperm is
are?
half a baby.
What do you think
Yeah.
sperm are? You going to work with them? I thought you start a business.
They get you in the carpool lane to get through traffic. No, officer, I'm carrying like millions of people here.
One of the best questions I ever read online was theoretical, hypothetical questions, I should say, was would you, instead of having like when you ejaculate, you have a million tiny sperms, if you had one giant one and then you had to fight it, would you masturbate as much?
Like, how does it fight? Does it like whip you with its
I
tail?
don't know. I just
wait,
imagine it's something from, like
Or-
critters.
I mean, or is that better than having to pay for?
But it would only be as
mean-
big as a streak of jizz, right? It wouldn't be like. It would just be like this big.
the way you described it, it
Is
sounded
that-
basketball
I mean, is that
size.
a better scenario to have to fight it than to send it to college?
Well, yeah,
I mean, I'm
imagine-
just
Just draw a face on it and start walking it around and bringing it to
If
school.
you
and
didn't
stuff.
fight it, what if it grew to the size of a basketball over a week, like in your house, and then you're like, "Oh, I didn't take care of this one. Now I gotta fight the big
Or
one."
like if you lose it, like when it first comes out, it's the size of a marble and it hides.
Yeah.
And it like rolls under your couch. You're like, oh shit, that thing's gonna come after me later.
in the night, it'll kill the
God.
neighbor's
It
cat.
then shed its tail and it's got 2 legs.
God, you just created like the worst horror movie ever. You want to know a weird job I had? And there's a Disney ride somewhere. I don't know where the Disney ride is, but I play Steve Jobs
What?
in the Disney ride. They do like a history of some shit or whatever, and I'm Steve Jobs on that ride.
It's got to be like Disneyland Paris or some place that doesn't
I don't
give a
know
fuck,
where
right?
it is.
Has
they
to find that.
They're like you're. I don't know. I don't want to say the thing, but they're like you kind of look this way or whatever. So I got Steve Jobs. And they hired a short, fatter guy to be Wozniak when they were younger, and like we go to the garage and we go to the thing or whatever. It was like, yeah, I don't know what happened to that.
We gotta find that.
I don't know. What
I
happened.
gotta
Let's
see
not find
you
it.
as Steve
Let's
Jobs.
not find
I've
it.
gotta
Let's-
see
Let's
that.
not find that.
You
Let's
kind
not
of
find
look
it.
like Steve Jobs right now. Just if that shirt was a turtleneck instead of a V-neck, you'd be set.
There's a weird rock
ahead.
that's alive. Have you seen it?
No,
Go on.
There's a creature
go ahead.
that it's a rock.
It's a rock,
and
right?
it's on you find it on a beach and stuff near other rocks. But you can saw it open and there's guts inside it. It's like a rock with guts, and they slice.
Really?
Yeah, and all it does.
I'm looking this up.
This is how this thing works. It filters in water through the rock.
No.
And it filters out nutrition, and all it does is just have water flow through it. Then, to reproduce, it sprays out eggs and sprays out sperm, and just hopes that some.
How
happen
can
in the
there
water.
be-
And then a new rock will grow.
How can there be a species alive today that humanity hasn't figured out a way to eat?
This is it. Look, there it is. That's the rock with
Oh
guts.
my
Oh
God.
my god.
Yeah.
How have we not?
Hold on,
how-
hold on. That's not in the stream yet. Wait till.
And that is a delicacy.
my God.
People will cut these rocks open and scoop out the guts. And
So
eat,
people
and,
do
and,
eat
and
it?
eat them. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
people? What people eat that?
And basically, it doesn't eat anything. It
What
doesn't.
the hell is that?
It's a rock with guts.
It's not a rock, dude. A rock does not have guts. A rock is
what
not
is that?
fucking
It
alive.
might
This thing
look-
was not formed in a volcano.
What is
this thing was
that?
not formed at the bottom of
All
a
right,
fucking
here's the,
riverbed.
here's the question. Here's the question. Was that a rock that something got inside, like a spore, and then expanded?
No, that's the
or
animal.
Is that like a spore that like excretes rock and then builds rock around the outside of it? What's the story with this thing?
It is
And
born
who,
like that.
And who eats it?
I'm googling rock animal. What does my life become?
Locals eat it raw or in stews, and non-locals describe the taste as
Soapy.
bitter with a slight iodine flavor. What the fuck is an iodine flavor?
Where are these locals from? Where is this?
Yeah, where are locals?
They eat rocks, so they're
Rockford.
from Zelda, right? Isn't that it?
Wasn't that a thing in like the Never-Ending Story? That giant rock that ate rocks.
Living Rock is one of the
in
weirdest.
Ocarina of Time, there's a whole race of people that eat rocks. That's what they
Are
do.
these people from Ocarina of Time?
I don't know.
Where the fuck are
apparently.
these people from that are eating rocks?
They're probably in Oz.
It looks exactly. It's not a rock, so it's not. It looks exactly like a rock with guts. It doesn't
Well,
tell
so
you.
probably not. Yeah.
You didn't add any information that I didn't give. I was totally right.
It looks like it.
He backed it up.
It's not a rock.
We know you're not insane now.
Yeah.
You did not imagine this.
Yeah.
So moving is the hardest thing ever. Why is there a picture of a clam on the?
Oh, that's a video that
You did.
We were talking about clams. I wanted to show this video, but now it's irrelevant. You want to show it anyway?
Did someone steal the clam?
Brandon, show the clam. So there's a clam that somebody put on their table, and then they put a bunch of salt on the table, and they discovered a horrible thing about clams. So you put a bunch of salt on
Oh
the table.
no! Does it escape? Oh.
It's just
No.
basically
Oh
licks
my god!
all the salt off the table.
No.
And it's like I need to find a
What?
new home. Oh, that's
yeah.
Well,
Apparently the
like how
clams
long of a period of time is this?
They don't
this
like-
real time.
Yeah.
it's real time.
Oh! Someone's going to put one of
Oh
those
my
on the...
god!
It's a snail, basically.
It's a
So
snail.
someone's going to put salt on their arsehole and have one of those lick it all off, aren't they?
Oh my god! Oh my
Why'd you go to that?
Well,
I didn't
I mean,
even
look
I've
at it.
seen this
It
video
looks
a
like
dozen
it would
times.
put salt
I
on
never
their
thought of that a dozen times. I've seen this
No,
video.
it looks like it would
Why is
feel
that the
That
first
has-
thing you go to?
That
Because
has
that would feel
never
good.
Occurred to me.
He goes,
That-
someone,
that has
someone's gonna
never
think of that.
Occurred to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Oh
horrifying.
my god.
That's a clam you buy at the store.
Well,
and
but you know what's funny
apparently
about
he had
that?
salt on his counter and
You-
he
you
saw
know
it go blah.
We should have
mean-
a shellfish race.
Listen.
Also, is that how they get nutrition?
I don't know.
No,
I
it
have no
doesn't. It
idea.
doesn't like the salt, right? I mean, what happened there is he
It
put
loves
salt
it.
in the thing, and it was like, "I'm out of here." It went on the table, and it felt a bunch of salt on the table. It was like, well, fuck, that's even worse.
I don't think
that's
so.
what happened, right? If you put salt on a slug, it kills it.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same kind of slug that gets killed
Well,
by
how
salt.
different can it be? It's a big fucking.
It was
muscle.
licking salt. It
It
wasn't-
doesn't have a tongue.
It
It's
wasn't
not
turning
licking
into
salt.
acid. It was like a giant tongue.
Do oysters
doesn't have a tongue.
want
That
salt?
is a tongue.
It's a
So
clam.
the third YouTube comment on that video is, "Oh man, this video, I'm high as fuck."
Search arsehole. I bet someone wrote the arsehole thing.
They did. I'll bet you right now. I will load up 3 loads of comments,
my
like
God.
click, and I'll
Oh
get like
my
4 pages
God.
of comments, and no one has
No one-
said
so you're
anything.
saying
I
that no
guarantee
one-
you. I guarantee you, someone has said
I
that on YouTube.
guarantee that someone somewhere has been rimmed by a clam.
Oh my god! I'm going to Google.
Clamrimmers.com.
I'm going to Google right now.
All right, I'm looking it up.
It's so easy to be a gay guy. I'm just saying. You can have
What?
animals and nature.
What? What?
Easy.
You got it.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Easier to be.
You got to back that comment up with something. Anything.
Animals in nature is what he backed it up with.
How did we go from the
So gay
clam
guys-
to that comment?
Hey, he made the bridge. I just crossed it.
I didn't mention gay
You
shit.
made the bridge.
It's not gay. A clam's not gay.
Someone who wants to put a moving muscle up their asshole
Really?
is not straight.
What's that got to do with gay?
Why do you all assume? First of all, why do you see me talking about a guy?
If
anyway?
a woman licks your asshole, is that gay?
Oh, fuck. I'm so back away from this. What
It's
was
too
my
late.
ori- what
I
was
don't know.
my
You
original?
can. You went all in with the comment.
He
at
like
the beginning.
literally took it all. I was like, there we go.
It's maybe like if I watch that video and he goes, oh, you know, somebody can put salt on their asshole. How did you make his comment less offensive? You somehow managed to make that like Gavin, you get out of these conversations all the time. Like the time you and I got in the fight on the live podcast, where I said that you called me out about live media or whatever, or cloud saves.
Yeah.
It was fucking him. If you go back and listen to it, Gavin leans up to the mic and he goes, "Well, you like cloud saves, Burnie," and then he leans back, and you and I get in a fucking fight
Because I
and
know
was
what it
all
does.
him.
What the hell is wrong
I
with
just
you?
light the fuse and step back.
Yeah,
I didn't understand. I was so lost. I was like, I was just talking about cloud saves.
it was him. It was Gavin.
I mean, this podcast, from the history of its inception and like every conversation, it's all like that, where
Yeah.
someone will just say like, you know, one thing and it completely deviates, and no one.
Yeah,
is,
like calling out gay dudes. Apparently,
I'm not
apparently
calling them out.
that's part of the MO.
calling them out.
If there was a creature that was basically the same thing as that clam with a tongue, except
It's not a tongue.
it came out and it was just a.
If go ahead.
It was a fleshlight to scale,
Gross.
but there was nothing inside it.
It was like the opposite of.
There was no teeth, but you could do it,
See?
and it would suck, and it would feel better than a fleshlight. And they were they were traded for this purpose. Would you get one?
Safely, no. I would say probably not. Because fleshlights exist, and I don't own a fleshlight. So I feel confident saying no. Be like, I got a clam job this week. I couldn't imagine ever saying that. I couldn't imagine that. And I have to admit that, like, some of the stupid stuff that people have done at a younger age with, like, stuff like that, I just haven't done stuff like that.
What?
Yeah, me neither.
Like when you talk about putting salt on your asshole.
I didn't put salt on my asshole.
Why would you put salt on your
didn't.
But you did come up with that idea.
Yeah, I'm
very quickly.
saying someone saw that video and then did that.
That somebody was you. You saw
I
it and
didn't do
immediately
that.
thought of that. You immediately thought
I'm
about
thinking
that.
of what an internet person would do.
No, that's just a way of displacing.
There's got to
your
be some
thoughts.
kind of bad health thing about putting salt in your ass.
Let me ask you a question. A would you rather question. So he was talking about the Google search history stuff. Would you rather post a full frontally nude photo of yourself on the internet, or make your Google search history publicly available?
Nude.
Just the nude.
Search history.
That is a really interesting question. That's what would you?
I would go with the nude in a heartbeat.
What
I
have you
would
been
not want
searching?
people
The
walking
problem is
through my Google
we
search.
look up fucked up stuff
We
here
look
for
up
work all the time,
all the
and there's
time.
no context on
Well,
it.
that's the thing. I mean, yeah.
And then we also filter what we talk about.
Yeah.
So there's stuff in my search history that's just way
Nude.
worse.
I will show everyone my dick rather than show my search history.
Well, you've come close.
Bye.
Bye.